Breaking free from this limited perspective requires diversifying your information sources. Seek out specialized publications, academic journals, and expert analyses that provide deeper context than traditional news outlets. International policy institutes like the Council on Foreign Relations or the International Crisis Group offer detailed reports on regional tensions. Foreign policy podcasts featuring actual diplomats and regional experts can provide nuanced perspectives rarely found in headlines. When consuming news about international events, compare coverage across multiple sources, including those from different countries involved in the dispute. This cross-referencing helps identify bias and provides a more complete picture of complex situations. The goal is to understand the competing narratives and interests that shape these conflicts. Your economic choices also play a meaningful role in addressing global vulnerabilities. Supporting supply chain diversity through your purchasing decisions drives corporate behavior collectively. Favor companies that maintain diverse sourcing strategies rather than depending entirely on single regions for critical components or materials. As Maria, a software engineer from Portland, discovered, after learning about semiconductor supply vulnerabilities, I researched which electronics companies had diversified manufacturing. My small purchasing decisions may seem insignificant, but multiplied across millions of consumers, they signal market demand for resilience. Active participation in democratic processes allows citizens to influence foreign policy direction. This extends beyond voting for candidates who prioritize diplomatic solutions. It involves communicating with elected officials about international issues, supporting organizations that promote peaceful conflict resolution, and engaging in community discussions about foreign policy priorities. When citizens demonstrate informed concern about potential conflicts, policymakers must respond. Public pressure has historically been effective in pushing governments toward diplomatic engagement rather than military confrontation. Your voice, amplified by others who share your concerns, creates meaningful incentives for leaders to pursue peaceful solutions to international tensions. Household preparation directly translates geopolitical awareness into practical action. Rather than promoting fear, take reasonable steps to increase resilience to temporary disruptions. Build a 2-week emergency supply of essential medications, food, and water. Create a family communication plan for disruptions. Identify reliable information sources for emergencies. Diversify your own supply sources for critical needs. These measures aren't acts of paranoia, but responsible preparation, similar to having insurance or saving for emergencies. By taking these steps calmly and rationally, you protect yourself while contributing to community resilience. The collective awareness of informed citizens creates powerful pressure for diplomatic solutions. When populations understand the real costs and consequences of conflict, they're more likely to support leaders who pursue diplomatic engagement. This awareness serves as a counterweight to simplified narratives that can make military solutions seem more appealing than they actually are. David, a high school teacher in Michigan, transformed his classroom by incorporating geopolitical literacy. When the Ukraine crisis began, my students moved beyond headline reactions to understanding energy dependencies, historical context, and diplomatic alternatives. Several went on to organize community forums explaining these complexities to their parents. Historical evidence demonstrates that public opinion influences conflict outcomes. During the Cold War, growing public concern about nuclear weapons contributed significantly to arms control agreements. More recently, international campaigns against landmines and cluster munitions succeeded in part because informed citizens worldwide demanded action. Your understanding of global flashpoints contributes to this collective pressure for peace. Take these concrete actions today. 1. Expand your geopolitical literacy through weekly engagement with quality international analysis. 2. Study one flashpoint monthly, examining perspectives from multiple sides. 3. Join discussion groups where international issues are examined thoughtfully. 4. Evaluate your household's vulnerability and implement resilience measures. 5. Research candidates' positions on international cooperation and conflict resolution. 6. Contact representatives about specific issues of concern. 7. Support organizations working toward diplomatic solutions. The understanding you've gained through this exploration of global flashpoints represents practical knowledge that empowers you to contribute to a more stable world. By recognizing warning signs, supporting diplomatic initiatives, and preparing reasonably for potential disruptions, you become part of the solution rather than a passive observer. Throughout our exploration of these 5 flashpoints, we've seen how regional tensions can rapidly escalate into global crises. These represent critical choices about our collective future. Diplomatic approaches prove invaluable when contrasted with the alternatives. Economic and human costs of major conflicts substantially outweigh investments in peaceful solutions. By understanding these complex geopolitical relationships, we gain the power to advocate for diplomacy before crisis points. What role will you play in promoting peaceful solutions? The time for awareness and preparation is now. Remember, these flashpoints aren't distant concerns, but interconnected challenges that affect us all. Your engagement matters in shaping our global future.